Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of Mindzai. My name is Brendan and welcome to episode 219 of Unboxed. And today, we're finally opening some more Labubu, but not just any Labubu. We're opening the monsters, technically the monsters, we gotta be distinct about this. The monsters and One Piece crossover figure set. We got a full case to open up, and boy, oh boy, I am excited. Now, I just want to preface by saying, I haven't seen One Piece. Well, technically I have as a little kid when it was airing on 4Kids, but I got a lot of catching up to do. So let's just see how many episodes exist. Maybe I can easily catch up and...
Oh my goodness! Squidward!
Now I'm starting to understand why people say that Doctor Who is just British One Piece. Alright, guess we're winging it, but it doesn't mean that I can't appreciate good toys as I see them. And they are looking mighty fancy if I do say so myself. So, without any further ado, let's get unboxed.
But before we begin, did you guys like? Did you subscribe? Make sure you tune in for all kinds of great content, from unboxings to artist interviews.
And then we stand this up, and there we go. We have 12 lovely toys to open today. Love the tops, but let's take a look at the box itself. So here is the box. We have this lovely embossed image of Labubu as Luffy on the front. This really bold 2D line art of the water splashing about. Love the sort of seagulls flying by. And then of course we have their ship, the Thousand Sunny, swimming about on the right here. And then here we can take a look at our lineup. We have Monkey D. Luffy. We have Brook. Now we have another character that isn't Labubu, one of the other monsters. We have Frankie. We have Law, not gonna butcher that name. We have Sanji, Nico Robin, Jinbei, Zoro, Usopp, Nami, Chopper, Sabo, and then our secret seems to be the Gear 5 Luffy. I know a bit of these things, and there's a pop culture osmosis, you can't escape One Piece. And on the back we have all of the copyright little nonsense here, but I do like that we do have the certificate of authenticity from Toei Animation, the animation studio behind the anime. Good, nice. Let's just open this thing. Take this, open that up. Okay. There's our standard old The Monsters bag, good old spindly line art over here, very classic. Then when you rip it out, our first subject is, Jinbei! Oh, let's get this out right there, and hello, you big chunky boy. And every figure in the set has a stand, this one being that of a belly coin, which is super cool. I love it when we have little bases or accessories that sort of replicate something that exists in the world of the show or the game or stuff like that, so love that. You line up the gaps in Jinbei's shoes with the little clear components of the belly to have the stand, and there we go. So here we have the Jinbei Labubu in all of his glory, and I really like the detail here, the sort of blue skin, the hair of the character sort of getting in the way of what would normally be the fur of the Labubu. Kind of means that there's actually more skin of the face, more exposed than usual. We have the ears that have all of the little nicks and scratches that are molded on, which adds a bit of texture to him. Love the sort of flowing coat in the back. You actually sort of see the sleeve is one sleeve is sort of bunched in while one sleeve is sort of pointing out. And then we have the robe with the orange and these nice little square patterns all wonderfully painted on. I don't really see a lot of errors here with the squares, all perfectly printed. And then we have, again, the belly sort of contrasting well with the blue, and actually the rim here. If you hear that, I can deal with that all day. Well, we're all solid start with a solid figure and a good old scar right in there. Oh, and I also like the little cloud eyebrows. Love you. And we have a very clever card. So this is sort of the back, but the front is a wanted poster. That is cute, and I actually like to see how it's sort of aged. You can sort of see the paint scratching off of the card. This is a pretty old wanted poster. You can see the bounty at the bottom. Good. Love that little touch. One down, 11 to go. Here comes box number 2. And this one is, hello there, and Sanji, right? It's Sanji. Yeah, that's Sanji. I sometimes get confused with Sabo. That is indeed a Sanji. Look at that pose. We have 2 accessories here. We have a belly and a little flame, so let us take that out. Okay. We have the little flame piece which actually goes underneath the foot, going for a flame and kick here. And at the bottom, we have a little peg that can go onto this shoe right here. And now Sanji is complete. Here we have Sanji here, and this is a fun figure. We have the sort of flaming kick accessory, which is super cool. And then how he's sort of balancing on top, giving us this little fighting pose. Love the little tie and the little gold buttons going around a sort of navy blue suit combo here. We have this nice sort of hairdo that is also blocking one eye, but you can still see they still painted and molded as much of the eye as possible, which is a great touch. Curly eyebrow, and even a little Labubu goatee, which is super cute. Very mature Labubu, take a shave. Here we have Sanji's wanted poster card, and what's cool is if we bring in Jinbei, notice that their bounties are different. Good attention to detail right there. All right, what do we got, folks? What do we got? We have Usopp! Oh, get this little foam out of here. Oh, this is a cool design. Ooh, I have a lot to talk about this one. So here we have Usopp, and this is shaping up to be one of my favorites here. So the one thing that I really like is the pose. Him sort of winding back the slingshot. You can see all the little strings that hold it together as everything sort of like consolidates to the middle. He's about to open fire. We have this fun little like pants and vest combo and this cute little bag that's red with this nice gold trim for the top. At the top we have these earmuff headphone looking things covering his ears, well, ears that go all around the head right here. And then we even have nice detailing at the hair here, because there's actually this like nice, like there's a smooth, a little bit of lines here, but as they bunch up to the little bun at the end, you can see there's more bumps, and you can actually feel that. You can feel the texture almost. It's really good. And then we have a goatee again, and the Usopp signature nose replacing the traditional Labubu triangle, giving him a lot of character. Great blend between the design of the actual human and Labu. Here we have his bounty card. It is practically half that of Sanji. Better luck next time, buddy. Look at the card. I don't want to see what's inside of here. The surprise is the fun part. And then you clip. Out comes... Oh, there's Sabo. Wow, Sabo has an accessory, so let's get those out too. Pegs into the backhand like so. So first things first, the best thing about him is this awesome top hat. Really solid, very sort of like thick and sturdy top hat here. The goggles are a nice touch and add some color to the look. And you can even see that there's still a little bit of those Labubu ears poking out, which is super cool. We have these like flowing yellow locks. The scar in the eye actually looks really cool with the Labubu face. This really sort of like regal black and blue suit outfit here, and we can't forget this awesome fire staff accessory this holds on to. I love that his thumb perfectly rests upon it when you place that little accessory on there. This is just really solid, really sturdy, and just super cool and dynamic with all the colors. It's very effective. And there's his card, looking nice and fancy. Wanted dead or alive? Well, he is mine. Inside this one, we have Nami! Hey! Oh, the colors are interesting on this one, especially the hair. Tab the staff into the hands, like so. All right, okay, so this is the Nami figure, the Nami Labubu. And the first thing that strikes out to me compared to the other figures is the hair. Now it's long and flowing, but the material is very different. It's a lot more glossy. You can see a lot more shine. When you bring in someone like, for example, Sanji over here, that's a lot more matte. You can see a lot more matte, feels more rough. Here, this one definitely goes for the shiny glossy aesthetic, which is very interesting. And the thing that's even more interesting is because of Nami's outfit, I get to know a lot more than I thought about Labubu's skin. If it weren't for the brown of the ears here, I wouldn't know what exactly this Labubu had in terms of fur before it all got skinned off for this Nami look, which is very funny. We have this staff too, this nice sort of like sparkle star at the end of it, which is a really great accessory here. And overall, just a very interesting figure. Go Nami. Here's our wanted poster, even lower than Usopp's. Yeah. And what we have here, ooh, like this one here is, I'm still not gonna butcher this name. This is La. We're calling him La, okay? Not Tufag. La. La's got swords. Equip the sheath right in here, so facing that, while you have sort of the hilt of the blade facing back. Here we have La. Very interesting design. It all comes down to the texture. So we have the hair, which is sort of like this great blend between having human-styled hair and sort of the Labubu fur that goes around the body. So I think that's a cool hybrid. It all carries on to the ears that actually have like fun little earrings clipped on. See that sort of gold trim, all leading to the hat. We have this like cow spotted hat here, but there's actually like bumps. You remember the bumps that I mentioned about sort of Usopp's hair buns? Well, they sort of come back in full force with this little doohickey here. And then we actually have the outfit, the torso, which has a lot more details on here. We have a lot of printing sort of going around sort of the very bottom of the suit. And then you even have the printing over here on the arm and even a little hand tattoo, if you can see that. The sword actually has a lot of details too. We have the sheath going up. We have this wonderfully sculpted sort of bandana going around. Then we have the hilt of the blade. And then we have a little bit of like blue pants here that still have like black spots painted on, so they still didn't skip the details on that. So overall, this is a really solid figure. I like this one. He seems to come out of the base a lot though, so make sure that you keep that nice and tight, yeah? Just stay in your place. Ah! And here his card. Wow, for a guy named Law, the Law sure wants a hold of him. That is a big bounty. 6 more to go. We are officially halfway there. Let's go. Oh, I can sense a big boy in there. Who could that be? Ooh, okay. We have Brook. Now this is a change of pace. So Brook immediately stands out because of the fact that, well, this is not a Labubu, this is not Makoko, this is Taikoko, another member of the Monsters team, this time taking on the form of Brook because why not? The dude's already a big skeleton, you might as well have him be the stand-in. And overall, it is wonderful. I know Labubu's the big thing these days, but sometimes you can't sleep on the other monsters, you know? Love the sort of cracks, the eyes, how expressive those big hollow eyes are. We have this like afro going on here, and this great sort of like 60s, 70s inspired aesthetic with sort of the flower pants, the guitar that's also slightly bent so you can tell that it's like sort of used, maybe semi-broken. You can see all the fur, the boa, there's a little necklace over here in the very middle over there that's still painted with the sort of silver and red. This wonderful top hat with the crown, with the metallic gold plating. Oh, this one is fantastic. Love this guy. And then here's the card over there. Should be worth a lot more because that toy was, ooh, that was hot. And out comes, ooh, Frankie. Oh, Frankie with the big ol' arms. So here is Frankie, and this toy is a lot of fun. I think what really sells it is the color scheme. The red and especially this sort of like light blue. There should be more Labubu like plushies with this light blue color. This is actually really nice and fits Labubu very well. And we have this fun, articulation. We actually have a Labubu with articulation here, fellas. Look at that. The robot arms can swivel a full 360 degree around. They actually have this like nice glossy plastic feel to them too, compared to sort of the matte of the rest of Labubu. The fun sunglasses over here. I wonder if they molded the eyes. You can actually see the eyebrows being molded on though. The shirt, those sort of like feet, that kind of reminds me of Krang's Mandroid. But whatever, we actually have one that can actually, we have one that you can play with. Yes! Now that's a Labubu toy I really like. Frankie doing the big flex on his card. Box number 4, let's crack it open. Okay, Frankie, stop. You've done enough. So here you have Nico Robin looking nice and fancy. We have sort of similar but not quite hair to Nami's. It is glossy-ish, but also matte-ish, kind of a hybrid of the two. And there's even some individual strands of hair, so it's not just one big piece. We have these nice sort of silver glasses that sort of peek out from inside the hair. The orange lenses are a nice touch. And you can even see with the eyes, there's actually a lot of character here because you can see that she's actually squinting. It's not just like a full, like, open eye, which adds a lot of humor to the look. We have the blue shirt, this nicely done sort of pink skirt. You can see how it decreases, sort of go around to the little knot over here. We have the red heels, no place like home. And then you can see we have pink ears with the little nicks and scratches on the back. Overall, simple, but really nice figure. And here's her wanted poster. 3 more to go. It's coming down to the wire. In this lies... Hey, Monkey D. Luffy, get out of there. Good boy. All right, here's our boy. Here is Labubu as Luffy, and this toy is more interesting than I expected. This one actually plays with perspective a little bit, but let us talk about just the base details first. Great hair detailing. I love the spiky black hair over here. I can just run my fingers through that. That feels nice. We have the brown ears. And we have the smile, we have the classic Luffy scar, this knot that goes around the back to the classic straw hat. You can even see there's our vest, there's like the yellow little belt that sort of comes out and then comes around. We have the shorts, we have the sandals. Look at that, even the sandals are sort of like done up to accommodate the little 3 toes that Labubu has. But what I meant as in playing with perspective is look at his arms. When you look at the front, it just looks like your standard like battle ready pose. Still looks great. But then as you tilt more to the side, I think kind of noticing that the arm over here is more outstretched than the other, which makes sense. You know, what's the one thing we know about Luffy? He's got stretchy arms. That old gum fruit came in handy here. So I like that they still had a subtle but also somewhat apparent way of seeing that ability in play with Labubu. We got our first Labubu with the stretchy arms. Hello, Stretch Armstrong. Super cool, great figure. And naturally, Luffy has this massive bounty on his head. Look out, everybody. Let's see what we have in here. Ah, oh, Tony Chopper. Ooh. His mascot character, good old Chopper. Now, this is really funny here because the face is so different than what you expect. We have this beady little eyes this time, this funny little like blue triangle nose, rosy cheeks going around the classic Labubu smile, this big old hat, really nice and solid. I love that with the pink sort of like fur rim at the top here. The antlers sticking out. You can still see the ears poking out of the hat. And this just fun little outfit and this big old backpack. That is super cute. Now here's one little piece of One Piece trivia I do know. Chopper's Japanese voice, if you'll watch with the sub, might sound familiar with you. You see, Chopper is voiced by Ikue Otani. Probably butchered that name. Now you might not know the name, but you definitely know the voice.
You can hear him, right? You can hear him talking.
That's right, Chopper Seiyu is the international voice of Pikachu. No matter what country you're in, you've heard her voice before. It is cemented in pop culture history. So, the more you know about One Piece and the little Chopper. And here's Chopper's bounty and, wow. I mean, compared to the other pirates, this guy's basically the equivalent of getting a Costco hot dog. All right, everybody, all gather around because the time has come for the final box. Will we get Zoro or will we get the Chaser, our ultimate treasure? Is the One Piece real? Let's go. And out comes Zoro! The base set is complete. What a great way to end this one, too. Now, how can you have the Straw Hats without Zoro? This is a great figure, and a very unique one, too, because dude's got no pegs. He can sit on his own or with the included clean belly coin. So you can have this as a coin if you want, as a toy coin, because hey, there's no like stands or anything. This can be its own little prop, or you can have it be consistent with the rest of the gang. But love this sort of sitting position, and of course all of his swords all bunched up together going through the belt here as it passes through the arm. Love that. You can see that they still sort of like sculpted and painted a white sword, red sword, and a black and gold sword. Over here, you can see all the little details, like a little like Y circle right there. You can love the sort of the inner shirt, the scar in the middle, the scar on the eye with the classic sort of Labubu wink over there. And then you have this tired expression with the sort of like subdued eyebrow ridge, which is a little like smaller than normal Labubu eyebrows, which just adds a lot more sort of expressiveness to the Labubu design that you never thought would be possible. Because, you know, many Labubu plushies have the same face. So we're seeing a lot more through the One Piece characters because they have to replicate sort of their demeanors. Nice, sort of spiky, light green, bluish hair that start off spiky, but then as it's combed back, it sort of becomes more and more integrated with the rest of the hair, more and more smooth. You can feel that transition as you run your finger through it. And then the ears are of a darker green with these 3 little gold trinkets over here as earrings. Overall, great conclusion, great capper, little shoes. And there we have it, pirates, the entire full set of Labubu One Piece fully assembled, and my oh my, don't these pirates look fantastic together. Now, which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. I think my favorite though is threefold. It's gotta be Frankie for the arm articulation, Brook for just how unique it is because the fact that he isn't a Labubu, and then Sabo I think is one of my favorites for the big old top hat and dynamic pose that he has. But let me know, and feel free to like and subscribe, all that good jazz, and as always, keep your mind's eye wide open.